Hello everyone, it's been a while.
Hey, Hugo, my man, my head honcho, where the fuck you been at? Where's part 6, bro? Where the fuck is part 6? I need that shit now. I can't live on this earth without part 6 right the fuck now.
Oh man, how time flies. Sorry for my absence of content. A lot has happened in between part 5 and now that prevented me from keeping a good upload schedule. But I'm back! For now, also Hugo. New mic? Yes, how did you notice? I don't know how you guys managed to tolerate my crusty, nasally voice from before, but now you can hear that same crusty, nasally voice in high quality sound. In the meantime, I need something to fill the gaps while I'm working on part 6, but how exactly am I going to do that? I just can't figure out how. I got it! A while ago I made a video showing my then recent Thomas finds. Yeah, remember that video? I filmed it way back in August alongside my Thomas Wooden Railway saga with the intent of editing the footage right after finishing part 4. The video came out in December. Yeah, due to many reasons the video was extremely delayed. But point is, at the end of the video there was a short teaser of my flea market finds that I would show in part 2. Stick around and I'll tell you all about it.
You serious?
Well, I never said for how long. Yeah, I had to push the video back again. Time just ran out extremely quickly. I know. How dare I have a life? But let me be real. That teaser I showed, it's severely outdated now. All of that was everything I found from September to December 2022. But I didn't stop going to flea markets since I shot that teaser. Oh no. Quite the opposite really. So how much did you find, Hugo? Let's say that a lot. Like how much a lot? Well, it's time to flex. These are all my Thomas finds since I filmed part 1. Everything, and I mean everything, from September 2022 to May 2023 is on display here. Approximately 9 months worth of Thomas finds. All of these items that you're seeing here cost me extremely cheap, much less for what you would pay for online. All found throughout the many flea markets in my area. I'm telling you, flea markets are a blessing. As you can see, I have a lot to show. It's going to be a bit impossible for me to show everything in one video, so what I'm planning to do is divide the video into 3 parts. A flea market trilogy, if you will. The first part will focus on the Thomas Wooden Railway finds, the second will be the diecast finds, or as I like to call them, Los de Fierro, and the third one will be the Playrail and Trackmaster finds. Hugo, I don't see any Playrail or Trackmaster. Oh, you will, don't worry. There is so many items here. Where do I even begin? How about we begin with my bread and butter, Thomas Wooden Railway. As you can see, I got a ton of new items. A whopping 63 new trains for my ever-expanding collection, and we are going to look at all of them. Like, right now. Grab some popcorn and some drinks and get comfortable because you guys are in for a treat. These are the brand new additions to my ever-expanding Thomas Wooden Railway collection. So what's new? Wasn't that a lot of fun? Now, I might have showed a lot of items here, but they are not items that are new to my collection. Many of these items I showed already in past collection videos. So why did you buy these again, Hugo? Are you dumb? In short, yes. But there are reasons why I bought these items again. So before I show you the interesting stuff, I want to give you my reasoning of why I bought Skarloey for the 11th time. Starting with items that I wanted to replace. Looking back at my collection, there are some items that look crusty as hell. Especially items that I had since little. So I'm glad I was finally able to find items like Butch and Ibohue in all their uncrusty glory. This is a great shaped Chinese dragon. Spoilers for part 6, but my childhood version of this item looks crusty. Another item that went to war. Also, I would like to give a shout out to my mom for finding this CGI Oliver in great condition. Thanks, Mom. I also got another Byron, the yellow guy. If you remember part 5 of my collection videos, I showed my Thomas Wooden Railway Byron and
whoever owned this before me, you disgust me. What do you mean, Hugo? He looks fine to me. Oh my goodness. What the hell did you do? I'm impressed more than anything. I would like to say more about Byron, but I'm afraid if I touch him too much, I'm gonna get a disease.
yeah, so now that I have this version that doesn't want to make me wash my hands after touching it, I can finally give this guy the proper review he deserves. So this is Byron, and it has a fun play feature. When you press the cab, the blade pin can race up and down, how fun. And he looks fine. On the complete opposite side of the spectrum, I got Coley, Golden Thomas, and Skarloey in horrendous condition. These are some of the worst condition trains I've seen in a while. And I already had these 3 items in really great condition. So why did you buy these again, Hugo? Are you stupid? Are you dumb?
You stupid.
I was thinking of possibly making a restoration video for these. I think that would be a fun video, right? Just me trying to return these items back to their glory. So if you would like to see that from me, please tell me in the comments. Scruff. Scruff. Next we have items that I bought as an afterthought. I got a 2000 Terrence. It looks the same as the 2001 Terrence I showed in part 5, but when you look at them from the bottom, it all becomes clear. I got another Murdoch. I know, not too riveting, and it looks slightly worse than the one I already had, but you know me, it isn't a faraway Murdoch if it doesn't have the Ellie name of the back. Jack. Chris, if you're watching this, I have your Skarloey and Duncan.
Please, my man.
Please come pick them up. I mean, I guess you don't care enough for them if you got rid of them years ago, and I found them at a flea market for $1 a piece, but man, how many Skarloeys do I have by now? They multiply by the second. I can't escape them. Bill. Now let's look at the items that I found the slightest bit interesting. This is an ordinary Thomas with nothing weird about it, right? It might be just me, but when I first found this Thomas, it looked odd. It's a Thomas with no stripes, has a funnel hole, it has a 2001 name font, and it's dated 2003. Consulted the wiki and didn't get many answers, so if anyone has more information about this Thomas, please leave it in the comments. I think it's a fun mystery to be had. Did I find a previously unknown version of Wooden Railway Thomas, or am I just dumb and should delete my channel? This is a 2003 battery operated Thomas. Great, now I have 4 of them. This is a regular CGI Percy, and this is the same CGI Percy with manners. I had to look this up. This specific Percy came with the musical Calliope that I still don't have. I found these 2 together side by side, and that's about it. It's a CGI Percy. Mattel would pay you to get rid of their extra stock, rolling stock. I got a plethora of rolling stock, which I'm not complaining about. You know what they say, the more rolling stock, the better. And all of these pieces look in pretty great condition. Except this sort of fuel tanker. One of the wheels is just... How the hell does this even happen? I have several questions, but trust me, this isn't the worst I've seen. Alright, now that we are done with the common whatever items, it's finally time to see the new items in Hugo's collection. The items that I'm excited to talk about. The items that you clicked this video for. The brand new additions to my ever-expanding Thomas Wooden Railway collection. So what's new? This is a 2002 breakdown crane, the first item on this video that I got right after filming my Flea Market finds part 1. It's weird to me that I just found this item, especially since I had the flatbed since like forever. I also found one express coach alongside it, and I can't believe it took me this long to have a complete set of these. Better late than never, I guess. Therefore, I filmed part 6 with the notion that I only had one flatbed and didn't have the crane, and that I will never be awesome and soil the Thomas name forever. So as soon as I found this item, I was excited. Until I realized that the colors are slightly different. The flatbed and the crane are different dates. I thought that didn't matter, but apparently it does. If you would like to see the breakdown crane in action, you might want to wait for part 6 to come out. In 5 years from now. I found both the learning curve and Mattel renditions of CGI Henry. Great, now I need to find the tenders for both of them. If you saw my collection videos, you already know what I think of the learning curve CGI faces. And Henry is no exception. He looks just as sus as the others. In contrast, the Mattel version is spot on. The face is really accurate, which is what you want to see. I'm so glad I found both versions. I think showing these two versions side by side speaks louder than words on which one you should get and which one you should call the authorities when you see it. Out of all the cash grab characters that Hit Entertainment produced, Neville and Stanley always stood out to me. The props they made for them look awesome, and I always wanted these guys in my collection since the first time I saw them. But that never happened, and I had no choice but to carry on with my life knowing I'll probably never own them. Until now, I found a wooden railway Neville and Stanley side by side for $1 a piece. I still can't believe that happened to me, and they look fine. Better than fine, actually. Matter of fact, I think they look great. They look detailed, but it's just the right amount of detail, and they look accurate to their respective props. Yes, they might be two more cash grab characters made in the most cynical way possible to drain your parents' wallet, but I like them. They look cool. I don't have to justify why. Let me have my fun! In part 5 of my collection, I showed my Kevin the Crane made by Learning Curve. I don't really like this version. Yeah, I get it, Kevin has a weird triangular shape, and it is a really hard character to get right only using wood and plastic. But it's not impossible though, and the 2013 version is proof that you can turn Kevin into a marketable Thomas toy. It's not 100% perfect, he is a bit too slanted for my taste, but hey man, I'll take it over whatever the hell this was. He has the correct proportions, has a better face, and bonus points for the magnet. It's really fun to fiddle with. Aw, look at this small little boy. This is the Silver Fire Truck. This version came bundled with the fire station destination, that I still don't have, and came bundled with this thing, and that's it. It looks cute. I have nothing more to say. Take him away, Kevin. I might not have a regular Sydney. I know, how lame of me, right? But hey, at least I have this one version with Christmas lights on the side, which is automatically better. Sorry, I don't make the rules. I had to look this up. This version came with this Christmas boxcar that I still don't have, and that's it. It looks nice. A perfect item to have around the holidays, you know? This is a 2019 Nia from Thomas Wood. And what did I say at the end of part 4?
I don't have any characters from the Big World Big Adventures era. What are you, crazy? I actually have priorities.
Oh yeah, Hugo, what happened to you, man? You used to have standards, now you bought a character from the Big World Big Adventures era, and not only that, it's the crappy wood version? Man, you fell off. Okay, in my defense, I found this item right next to a snowplow, Thomas. I just couldn't resist. I don't regret it, I'm only human. Honestly, it doesn't look like complete ass once it's fully painted. Just looks average now. If you want to get a better version of Nia, you can get the 2022 version of it. It even comes with a little purple wagon. Yay? As for the wood version, it's okay. Man, maybe it did fall off. So I found this James, right? And it looks weird. It has a different looking face and has a weird lamp on the top. I have to explain this, don't I? So there's a season 15 episode where James has to travel at night. So he goes to the Steamworks to get a lamp and he refuses to, and that's about it. I actually saw the episode just for this video and I will never watch it again because it's boring. The whole plot is James traveling at night, he can't see shit, stumbles upon something, hence and repeat. So Learning Curve looked at that mediocre nothing episode and said, "Get to work, boys, we're eating tonight." And so this made it into stores. James has a button in the cab, and when you press it, this little light at the front lights up. And that's it, that's the gimmick. As you can see, it doesn't have the tender, but I don't think it's any different from the regular James's tender. But as I don't have a spare James tender, I found this rolling whistle James tender in awful condition. You'll have to excuse me, this will have to do for now. This is Talking Railway Series Spencer's Tender. Great, now I need to find Spencer himself. Gone are the days of me only having Molly for this Talking Railway Series range. Molly! And yep, that sure is a Talking Railway Series Spencer's Tender with a gold magnet. Great, can't wait to find Spencer in 5 years from now. In part 4 of my Thomas Wooden Railway collection, I told you guys the sad story of how I missed the opportunity of buying a wooden railway hero for my poor financial decisions. Ever since, all that I had of this character was this solitary tender from 2009, until I got the Mattel version just 1 week before filming part 1. And ever since then, I learned a valuable lesson. But hey, I finally acquired him! And regardless of what I think of his face, it is extremely well produced. It has lovely detail all around, and it just looks so sophisticated, you know? I still think the Mattel version is a superior version, even if it is just for the accurate face. That is what we want to see. But even though, I still recommend this version. Just make sure to have some cash always available. You never know when a learning curve hero might attack. Here is another item that I always wanted but never got until now. Here is a 2008 redesign of Duncan. And in my opinion, it is an underrated gem of Thomas Wooden Railway. No, I'm serious. I know what you're saying. Hugo, this looks awful. And to that I say, no, he doesn't. You just don't get it, alright? Now let me explain. This isn't like the Renee's redesign where just everything about it is wrong. The proportions are wrong, the color is wrong, the face is wrong, and motherfucker got the fake J's. Why are your wheels white? What are you? None of that is present with Duncan. He has nice detail on the sides, and the proportions are great. Look at it, he even has a little lamp on his cab. I don't know why, it has always been such a cool detail to me. But then I look at the wiki and read that the lamp was a mistake?
No! It can't be! No! No!
And the face is tolerable. Comparing it to the old version of Duncan, you can tell that both versions were not based on the same thing. While the old Duncan was based on the small scale prop, the new one was clearly based with the large scale model. It's kind of unfair to compare both, but if I must choose, Duncan.
He's my man.
Sam is kinda special, in the sense that he was never part of the main show. Sam was part of the Suddery Story collection, a collection of books that came with exclusive items so you could reenact the story of said book. If you wanted to be a bit more fancy, and $200 to spend, they even made full sets based on these little books, and even made expansion pieces exclusive to the official Thomas website. Honestly, it was a great idea, and I was always bummed out when Mattel discontinued the line in 2016. Point is, 3 exclusive characters came from this line: Logan, Sam, and Dustin, and they look neat. I would like to own them one day, but this will have to do for now. I found the Sam the American engine. Great, now I need to find the tender. And yep, that is definitely Sam. They did a decent job conveying how massive he is, considering the limitations of Thomas Wooden Railway. As you can see, he is not in the best condition, but God only knows when I will find another one. Let alone the tender. Here we have my goofy yaw uncle, a character that I never really liked. I think he looks goofy as hell, and his Wooden Railway model is surprisingly good. Learning Curve went so hard on Goofy for no reason. It has a ton of detail, and it's one of the few times they got a CGI face right. It even has a movable ladder. Say it with me now, hours of fun. It might be way too plasticky, but I don't know, Goofy here looks good. Now I wonder if Ian agrees with me. Yeah, children grow up and often sell or donate their toys. Do you think he sleeps well at night knowing that I have his train he got rid of years ago? He must be so pleased knowing that he ended in good hands. On the same toy stand I found Goofy Uncle, I found a second tender. The tender looks funny. It's the only Thomas Wooden Railway item that only has 2 wheels and it can't even stand up on its own. I don't know, it looks kinda funny to me. But there is something interesting about this tender, believe it or not. This one belonged to someone called Miles. Comparing it to the Goofy I just showed belonging to Ian, that is definitely the same handwriting. I think it's a fun mystery to be have. Who were Ian and Miles, and why did they have 2 Goofy uncles? Were they brothers? Childhood friends? If Miles would have been born in other parts of the world, would he be named Kilometers? The point is, I now have Flynn with 2 tenders. I got a Wooden Railway Charlie the Funny Purple engine. And what did I say in part 4 of my collection?
Yes, this might sound a bit controversial, but I can live and die without owning a Wooden Railway Stafford. Or Charlie. Or any of them really. Now if I see them for $4 at a flea market, then I'll buy.
Yeah, I don't know how this keeps happening, but I have this habit of finding the crappiest characters at flea markets, and now I can live my life knowing I do have a Wooden Railway Charlie. Yay! And I know what you're saying.
What could be worse than a
Thomas Wooden Railway Charlie.
Oh, I know.
Thomas Wooden Railway Charlie. 3 weeks later, on a different flea market, I found another Charlie, and they have no differences whatsoever. Well, there is one. One was produced by Learning Curve, so it means it's from 2009 to 2010, and the other one was produced by Tomy, which means it was produced around 2011 or 2012. Hugo back at again, bringing the most relevant facts here. How did you guys manage without me? I was so excited when I found this item. This is Class 40. I didn't make that name up, by the way. That is really what the show called this character. His parents must have hated him, or as Learning Curve called him, the Diesel. Not just any Diesel, he is the Diesel, bitch. As you can see, my version is a really lame shape. It has a ton of paint chips, the face is covered in dirt, and there is a reason why I'm only showing the right side of him. The left side has this massive pink splatter on him, and I don't think I will be able to remove it. Even so, he looks nice. Given the limitations of Thomas Wooden Railway, the prop for this character is long, so it's pretty understandable that Learning Curve tried to shorten him a bit, all in the name of going through tight bands, but it's still a pretty good item. It's going to take me a while to find a cleaner version of him. He only appeared in one episode, and his Wooden Railway toy was only available for 4 years and never again. He is not rare, but pretty rare. Even so, with the Diesel finally in my collection, I can finally say that I own every character from the first 4 seasons of Thomas and Friends. God damn it, I'm missing Henrietta. Speaking of Diesels, here is the devil himself, Diesel 10. So the story of how my mom found this item is kinda funny. All I can say for now is that we found this alongside a bunch of Trackmaster, miscellaneous, and other items from a distant faraway land. Where exactly? You'll have to wait and find out. Anyway, this is Diesel 10, a talking Diesel 10 if you will, and it actually talks. Oh my god, I wonder what he has to say.
Ah, you're popping silly steamers.
That's kinda neat, right? It's not often I find talking engines that actually, you know, talk. I had to make the most of it before the battery dies out, and he looks okay. Paint she moves the same, hours of fun, but man, I'm not a fan of this happy.
Come back soon. I'll be waiting.
But man, I'm not a fan of this happy.
Silly steamers.
But man, I'm not a fan of this happy.
Ah, you're popping.
Shut the fuck up!
But man, I'm not a fan of this happy-go-lucky face. Like, come on, dude, that's not Diesel 10, that's Diesel Mid. Just give us the old face back, you cowards. Speaking of talking trains, I found this talking Gordon by Mattel. And didn't you already have this, Hugo? If you remember part 2 of my Thomas Wooden Railway collection, I showed a talking Gordon. When I bought this item years ago, this guy was working 100% no problem. But right at the moment I was going to film him in action, the battery for real said, okay, guess I'll die. I wanted to show him in action because it didn't speak in English. It spoke in another language. It sounded French, but I'm not too sure. I can barely speak my own language. I mean, I guess I could replace the battery to show that I'm not a liar, but why bother when I found another talking Gordon? And this one actually talks. Yes, for real this time. It has some of the most iconic Gordon lines of all time, like this one. And this one. And this one. And how can we forget this classic? Yeah, on second thought, go back to not working, please. Yo, what the hell is this? I guess this should not even be in this video because it's not really Wooden Railway. There is no wood here, never was. It is made out of 100% cheap ass plastic, but it has the proportions of a Wooden Railway item. And besides, just when the hell am I gonna talk about this thing? My only guess, it's one of those cheap ass toys you would find on birthday themed Thomas cakes. Remember these? I do still own some of the toys that came in mine. If anyone has more information on this guy, let me know. I might slightly care. And what else can I say? He has 3D stripes. That is something. He has side rods. That is neat, right? I mean, Wooden Railway never had any side rods. I mean, you might say, what's the point if they don't even move and they have dummy wheels on the bottom? Take this away from my sight. Here we have 3 more deformities. We have Thomas, Gordon, and Henry from the early engineers line. Great, now I need to find the tenders for 2 of them. And let me be sincere for a moment.
Está bonito. Está bien culero.
Yes, I've expressed this somewhere in my collection videos, but I'm not a fan of these early engineers line. I mean, the intention was there, but the final products just don't look good. Look at these 3 items, okay? Look at me in the eye and tell me that these look good. I dare you. I'll wait. You see? It's impossible. I guess it's kinda neat that I found 3 of these from my collection, and some items have become really rare collectibles and are hard to come by. So I'ma keep this review brief and sincere. Thomas looks evil, Henry looks janky, and Gordon looks
Fail.
You have no idea for how long I was looking for this item. This is Percy, Chocolate Percy if you will, based on that iconic Series 6 episode where Percy crashes the Mr. Jolly's chocolate factory. Oh Percy, you absolute buffoon, you absolute imbecile. One of the most iconic moments of Thomas and Friends. And definitely one of the most merchandisable. Chocolate Percy was available everywhere. Think of a range, any range really. They probably have a Chocolate Percy somewhere, and if they don't, think again. Take along? Yes. Play rail? Yes. Trackmaster? You bet. Trackmaster again? Capsule play rail, minis, Ofuro, the mini car. Whatever that means. Books, DVDs, shirts, you name it. And the wooden railway version looks lovely. The item is coated in this nice stain of chocolate, not only on its sides, but also on the face. Definitely one of my favorite items from wooden railway history. It's such a fun addition to any collection. It just looks so good enough to eat, you know? It's a shame I don't have my Coldust Percy anymore. If I did, I would have completed the Adventures of Percy 3-pack, but it doesn't matter. I'm just glad I was finally able to find Chocolate Percy. Another item I can delete off my bucket list. Be it James, you're coming down. This is a Gordon from Thomas Wood. Look how they massacred my boy. I haven't mentioned this yet, but it's not often I find too many Gordons. I don't know why, but Gordon is such a hard character for me to find. And the only times I've found this character in the last few months are Early Engineers Gordon, and now this thing. Arguably the worst version of Gordon available. Great, now I need to find the tender. And he looks awful. Absolute dog water. It's so squished. So short. But it's not just a Gordon issue. All big engines from Thomas Wood look like this. Why can't you do anything right? I don't even care if it's fully painted. There's no way you can salvage this. I have nothing more to say. Early Engineers Gordon is superior. I think that says it all, doesn't it? If you remember part 4 of my collection, I showed a wooden railway Dodge, and he looked kinda solitary, you know? It feels like something's missing, but I can't put my finger on it. Take it away, past me with a crappy mic.
Again, I'm missing half the fun of this item. One day, Splatter. One day, you will be in my hands.
Well, the day has finally arrived. I got Splatter, and he looks about the same as Dodge, but it is better because it's purple. I like purple, and now that I have Splatter, I can finally do something I wanted to do for a while. Kinda cool, huh? It's like finding a lost pair of socks or your long lost twin brother. Splatter and Dodge look awesome together. They have detail, they have the most funny faces Learning Curve ever produced, and I just love their color schemes. I can't believe it took me this long to have them both, but now that I have the Splotch Gang in my collection, I can finally say something I wanted to say about them for years. They look fine. Here we have a fire truck with a massive tanker, and what did I say in part 4 of my collection?
As you can see, I only have the ladder fire truck. I don't have the water tanker one. I'm not dying to get it though.
Don't look at me like that. I had the ladder fire truck since God knows how long, and just now found its pair. And they look fine. It has a water tank, a ladder, that's about it. But there is something mildly interesting though. The ladder fire truck has a whole compartment, and I always wonder what the purpose of this was. Well, now I know the answer. The tanker truck has this hose thing that can detach, so you put it in the ladder fire truck, and now it looks like the water tanker is filling his homie with water. Say it with me now, hours of fun. Not my proudest achievement here, but I'm glad to finally had a complete set of these. Okay, so what's the last item here? If you remember at the beginning of the video, I found a 2001 bill. Good for you, Hugo. I always knew you could do it. But that's not the bill I wanted to talk about. Sorry there, little fella. In part 3, I showed a 2005 redesigned Ben. And as good as the item was, I sadly didn't have Bill. So I said this.
Shame I don't have Bill yet, but when I do, you guys better run.
Well, run. I finally found the redesigned Bill and can finally do something I wanted to do for a while. what a glow up. These two look so good together. You see what I mean with each twin having different faces? Makes them both look unique in their own way. They have amazing detail and are just overall the definitive versions of Wooden Railway Bill and Ben. I really recommend you get these. Now that I finally have the chaotic duo in my hands, I can finally take a rest. It might have taken me years to have both twins, but hey man, it was worth it. With these two bozos finally covered, I think it's a good note to end things on. No, really, this is the last Wooden Railway item I had to show. Point is, we are done. Wasn't that a lot of fun? So this is what 9 months worth of flea market finds typically look like for me. I showed a ton of items here. Some old, some new, some I already had, some new additions, some great items, some abominations. That's the name of the flea market. You never know what you're gonna find next. It might not look like it, but Thomas items are becoming harder to come by. So I'm still thankful I found all these trains for my collection. Yes, even you. But that's not the end of the story though. Tune in next time and we will see the next best thing since wooden trains. Thank you guys for seeing the video. I'm so glad I was finally able to record this video. Due to many personal life matters, this video was in production hell for a while. Many of these items were just sitting there in boxes for months waiting to be filmed. I would like to upload more frequently and expand the faraway channel now that I have the time to make videos. So let's see what summer has in store for us. I would like to thank my mom and dad. I can't thank them enough for all of their support. They have supported me and helped me a ton during the last few months with my collection. Love you both. As you might have noticed, my voice sounds a lot clearer, and that's thanks to my patrons. Thanks to them, I was able to afford a brand new mic and headset. Gone are the days of me using that awful $20 microphone. I don't know how you guys tolerated me using that. As for part 6, I know that is long overdue. That will come out hopefully soon if God allows it. But in the meantime, see you guys next time. Adios.